Moving on to the sleep, the integral process that impacts literally all body physiology, from memory and mood to recovery, inflammation levels, and cancer immunity. There are multiple components to sleep optimization and even more so proposed supplements for that, but the following 4 tools will yield the highest ROI for your best sleep. First sleep tool is consistency. Going to bed at the same time is important, but waking up at the same time every day is even more important. Regular wake-up times train our brain to a specific pattern and also result in a buildup of sleep pressure by the evening so that we naturally feel the urge to sleep. Keep your wake-up times consistent within a 1-hour delta, including on weekends. Sleeping on weekends for more than 1 and particularly 2 hours, despite being attractive, is actually quite disruptive for the regularity of our circadian rhythms, and it is one of the components of behaviorally induced insufficient sleep syndrome. Second sleep tool is morning wind-up. Don't indulge yourself with lazy lying in bed and scrolling the phone. Instead, get out of bed quickly and tell your brain and body that this is the beginning of your day. And the best instruments to communicate that to your brain are exposing yourself to bright light, ideally natural by going out, or artificial if we're talking darker part of the year, doing a warm-up, short or brisk walk or run, taking a cold shower, and having a good breakfast. Cold shower and breakfast may not be something that all of us would fit in daily routines, just because some of us may be skipping breakfast and some of us may be feeling uncomfortable or more hungry during the day after the cold shower. But getting yourself a good light exposure within a half an hour of wake-up time and accompanying that with a multi-joint warm-up or a run would be a really great way to spike alertness, cortisol, and kick in our circadian clock so that we get healthy, timely, natural release of melatonin in the evening. Which gets us to the third sleep tool, evening wind down. And this is a combination of actions that will tell our brain that daytime activity is coming to an end and we're now tuning ourselves to a good night sleep. Again, one of the crucial instruments we can use here is light. If morning is the time of bright light exposure, the evening is the time when we dim our lights, switch off the sources of white and blue light, and instead favor yellow and red lights. Other evening wind down instruments are not consuming too much fluids late in the afternoon and timing a dinner 2 to 3 hours before bedtime, putting away screens at least 1 to 2 hours before sleep, relaxing, doing breath work and moving all planning and overthinking to the next day, and taking a warm shower before bedtime. If you fancy sauna and have access to it, you can also fit a 20-minute or so session before bedtime, which may not only help your sleep quality, but also reduce your risk of ASCVD and dementia. The best timing for sauna is about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime, which will allow your core cooling and timely sleep onset. And the fourth high ROI sleep tool is actually your bedroom. Make sure it's dark, cool and quiet, and remove all activities out of your bed with the exception of sleep and sex. As a bonus, you can establish a substance curfew. Different substances may affect our sleep quality by delaying its onset, disrupting its architecture, or both. And the most frequent offenders here are caffeine and alcohol. By avoiding caffeine and alcohol intake for at least 10 hours before bedtime, you will get the best quality sleep at night. And finally, we arrive to high ROI lifestyle tools to boost our cognitive performance. First tool here is learning new skills. If we want our brain and cognition to evolve, we need to give them new challenging tasks that demand motor and cognitive learning. Anything from learning a sport, dancing, playing a musical instrument, spatial navigation in the wild, learning a new language or profession, all that will increase our brain neuroplasticity. And in simple terms, we shall become better at building new connections between our neurons. That's why we need to make sure we don't get just stagnant with already acquired skills, but we aim learning something different, of interest and use for us on a regular basis. The second tool for cognition is exercise. In fact, it is the most potent non-pharmacological intervention for neuroplasticity. By regular zone 2 and strength training, we boost our BDNF, clotho protein, cerebral blood flow, mitochondrial efficiency, glucose regulation, and more. The third tool is deep work cycles. We should structure our work in distraction-free task-focused blocks, followed by short breaks. This will improve our productivity while avoiding burnout. We can start with shorter 30-minute cycles, gradually increasing to 45 and even up to 90 minutes. Eliminate distraction by keeping your phone off the desk or in focus mode, with notifications and reminders off. Aim single tasking and avoid task switching, and foster a culture of respecting other people's deep work cycles in your home and corporate environment. This will train your prefrontal cortex, improve working memory, and develop the habit of focused, outcome-driven performance. The fourth tool is meditation. It not just helps stress management and mental clarity, but also contributes to sustained attention, faster refocus after interruption, and more deliberate rather than reactive nature of decision-making. With regular practice of meditation, you will notice growing ability to stay calm, think clearly, and act intentionally rather than react emotionally. The simplest meditation you could do is just sit upright with your eyes closed and focus on your breathing. Do this for 12 to 20 minutes per session, and ideally make sure you breathe out for a bit longer than you breathe in. This way you increase the activity of parasympathetic nervous system, which winds down stress and promotes the state of calm. As bonus cognitive performance tools, you may consider strategic use of caffeine before a bout of work, but making sure it's no later than 10 hours before sleep, and creatine supplementation. Thanks for watching this video. It is a sneak peek into my brand new product, High ROI Lifestyle Workshop. Designed for corporate clients and groups of individuals alike, it offers a detailed dive into the most effective tools for health and longevity. It also delves into the topics not covered in this video, such as leveraging mood and social connections, effects of alcohol and smoking, biomarkers and testing, health monitoring options at home and beyond, sauna and cold exposure, and supplement use. This event is available worldwide in online format and in person in case you're in Scotland and England. To register your interest, just follow the QR code, click the link in the description, or go lifestylelab.uk/interest. And I see you again soon in the next video.